Bus driver Doug Boltemeyer had completed much of his daily route when his bus, number 49, erupted. It was 4:01 in the afternoon by the time he radioed in to report the fire. When the fire department arrived at 4:06, the bus was completely engulfed in flames, so hot it even burned the grass and leaves off the trees in a nearby yard. Thankfully, Boltemeyer was able to get all 30 students off the bus in less than a minute. Thomas North, the NACS Director of Transportation, says that Boltemeyer handled the crisis expertly.
He stopped the bus, secured the bus, it got the kids to evacuate, and got everybody to safety. That's what we want him to do. We want the kids off the bus and to safety. He did exactly the way he was trained.
It is speculated that some sort of leak caused the fire. Because much of the school bus is made of flammable materials like petroleum, the fire spread quickly. Not only this, but the fire is assumed to have been caused by a diesel leak because of how intense the fire was. This meant that the fire was harder for the fire department to contain and put out. It took the fire department around 15 minutes to fully subdue the fire. They also used a special type of foam rather than the typical water to contain the fire and ensure that it didn't spread. Mike Feely, the fire chief at the Huntertown Fire Department, says that controlling the fire was difficult for those involved.
It was not a typical run where you actually just go, you put the fire out, and then you leave. We were there, we had to contain the diesel fuel spill, we had to figure out how the wrecker was going to actually hook up to the bus because the whole entire front end was down on the ground. So all in all, this was a very challenging run.
But their work wasn't over yet. The fire department had to notify Indiana State Police and the Department of Natural Resources to ensure that the nearby lakes in the neighborhood would not be impacted by the diesel fuel runoff entering the sewers. The fire occurred here in the lakes of Carroll Creek at the intersection of Crooked Cove and Wandering Way. Fortunately, no students were harmed in the incident, although they were understandably shaken by the experience. Students on the bus first noticed a smoking engine as well as the smell of gasoline and diesel before the actual fire started. These contributed to the sense of panic or surrealism that many felt. However, Ethan Van Cleve, a passenger on bus 49, said that the drills conducted earlier in the year helped get everyone to safety.
The drill was actually very helpful. I would say the only thing that no one obeyed was the don't take your stuff rule, which didn't seem to impact very much at all, except for one kid at the front that was deciding whether to take his backpack or whether to leave it there. He kind of held up the line a tiny bit.
The panic that the students riding the bus felt was shared by many witnesses. One bystander describes her feelings of fear after seeing the smoke from the bus.
I ran outside. I was bawling. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, oh my gosh, did they get the kids off? So I was in like pure panic mode because I was so scared.
In response to the incident, the district has recently started an investigation with the Indiana State Police into the exact cause of the fire, as well as how to prevent it from happening again. Cummins, the company that makes the engines in the buses, is also looking into the issue. However, the district and state police seem to think that the fire is an isolated incident. According to North, the buses are thoroughly investigated before every trip to make sure that they are safe for transporting kids to and from school.
Our last inspection this year, of all the buses, they found an interior bulb. That's the only thing that they found. The guys have a remarkable maintenance program here. They do an excellent job. I mean, we're pretty thorough what we do.
Until the investigation is complete, the specific cause of the fire will remain unknown. However, there is likely little need to worry about a similar event in the future. As long as students continue to take evacuation drills seriously, it is unlikely that any students will be harmed in another emergency. For Studio 415, I'm Drew Wilberger.